Alright, the big spring presentation is here, along with the new unique skill units. Only one of them's been revealed because it's with Dokkan, and not going over collab stuff, so let's begin. So first off, here's a new restriction list, Varelord to 1. Understandable because of the triple Varelord with Umashad, so you got triple Varelord boosting, which can be a little insane, along with the constant rearming, and then Saragon with Razio, which actually makes sense because that's been coming, and then the 2-ups. For Levy Dress, it's understandable. And then for Gandiva and Shoujo Doji, it's also not too bad since they're just bumping it back up to 2 instead of being at 1. Haven't had a good restriction list for a while. And then for Festival Collection, once again revealing these units, but this time they're called Ace units with a unique skill, kind of like Divine Skill, hard once per game, and can only be one hard copy per deck, with one of them being revealed today at the Dokkan stream, which is the Dragon Empire 1 Drag Ritter Migdel, which is grade 2 with taking power, and the skill is, once again, being an Ace unit, you can only have one copy in the deck with a unique skill that can only be played once per game, which is auto when placed on rearguard other than during battle. This card gives us 5 power in the end turn, and then cost energy plus 3, draw a card, and choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and then into the end turn, all their chosen rearguards lose their abilities and cannot gain them. Keep in mind, you can't do this to those rearguards that says cannot be chosen. And then after that, put all the cards from that rearguard circle into the drop zone. Basically, it's a stronger retire, where it basically also nullifies one of your opponent's abilities and also gives you draw on top of it, which isn't too bad since you could actually run this in every single deck. It kind of reminds me of another Dragon Empire card, but overall not super crazy. But the second skill is auto rearguard. When this card attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is at least grade 3, plus 5 power at the end of the battle. And if your opponent doesn't have any rearguards, or if a rearguard left the rearguard circle by card ability this turn, aka through retire, bind, or just rewind back to the deck, any means, this card gets additional 5k power. So basically it can be a big beater on its own, which is always nice, along with basically an additional retire that is only one-time use. Overall, it's not too bad, not super duper crazy, but I do like that these are generics that every deck can use. And continue off from Dokkan stuff, I won't be going over these, but here are the Bang Dream stuff, which I'm not going to go over. They look pretty cool, but I don't really care for these. And then we continue off with more Festival Collection reveals with a new Vajula, and along with a new Zero as Galantin with Vajula as Soul Saver, for basically Skyride manga reasons, because they're on Cray. But not only that, the exciting news of Alfred Encounter, finally! Honestly, it was kind of weird that they didn't release this sooner since this was Aichi's first main grade 3, and it goes alongside Blaster Blade usually, so this one I'm happy to see. But for set 9, we got the reveal of Daikaiser! Surprise, no Great Daiyusha yet, but they kind of hinted this back last year, so this was eventually expected, but it's sooner than expected. Hopefully now they make the great version of both units. And speaking of Daikaiser, there's going to be a collab with it for Mecha Anime, which will also be collab cards in the set. And speaking of more collab, Buddyfight collab with its own booster set. That one is kind of exciting. Expecting the flags to be crest though. And then finally, here's the release schedule with set 9 in June and the Buddyfight collab at July. And finally, here's the DSR for set 8. Surprisingly not Vladimir with Suo, it is Kaigetsu with Vezlu. And so that's it for these reveals with the presentation along with the one Ace unit. What do you guys think about Ace unit? Cool concept, although so far not too strong, but I kind of like it that way so they're not like complete staples and they are played depending on the deck. And I would say it's a cool way to make generics, honestly. But as for the presentation itself, a lot of cool stuff. Good restriction lists, and the unit reveals. Basically a new form of Vajra if it's Soul Saver with it. But Alfred coming back after all this time, even though it came way too later than Majesty Lord when it's before Majesty Lord originally. And Daikaiser coming sooner than expected. Along with some cool collabs, I must admit. I might actually be interested in these. But that's it for this, and see you all next time.